All right, everybody, welcome back to GAC Racing League here in the 360 Dirt Sprint Car Series. Tonight is the championship race at ELDORA Speedway, and going to be a good race. Race number 12 out of 12. We're going to see maybe some history in the making here tonight. We got Tony Gray coming in as your leader, 35 points ahead of Dean Viney. And looks like Tony Gray's probably going to take the championship tonight. And if he does, it'll be the first time that somebody has got a three-time championship back-to-back. I believe Dean Viney said that he was a two-time champion back-to-back in the Truck Series back in 2012. So Tony Gray going to try to do it here tonight, and we'll be here to see it get done. Before we go any further, let's go over the point standings right now as we come into tonight's race. Tony Gray is your leader in the points. Dean Viney is in second. Mark Koshik's in third. Michael Palmer moves to fourth. Ralph Connor Jr. with a big jump, excuse me, all the way up to fifth. Chuck Shaw Jr. is in sixth. John Estes hanging on to seventh. Randy Perdue in 8th. Gary Shank sits 9th. Billy Rodenbarger's in 10th. Len McNeese in 11th. David Gainforth to 12th. Harvey Scott is in 13th. Shane Gross is 14th. And that's coming into tonight's race. We missed last week's race. We've had a lot of issues here trying to get the sounds back up on the broadcast. And man, what a job, what a nightmare. If any of you don't know, excuse me, over watching, this is all done through the computer, and I have Windows 10, and it seems like every time I get a Windows 10 update, it just wreaks havoc on the computer, and I don't know why. I always have to go and reset everything, reset the sounds, and just last week I couldn't get it. It sounded like I was in a cave. And felt really bad, wasn't able to get out here and put the race on. I heard it was a really good race too, but it was awful. It's just that the sounds were just awful. So hopefully tonight the sounds are better. Been checking it for the last couple of days. Seems to be pretty good. If it starts getting to sound like it's in a cave or it's just not right, if you're hearing message, just shoot me a message and I'll see if I can correct it. But from what I'm seeing and hearing, it sounds pretty good, so we should be pretty good to go. Let's take a look at some of the drivers out here on the track. We are at ELDORA Speedway. We got 75 degrees and 102 track temperature, so going to be pretty slick. I believe this is the third time back at ELDORA, so should be a whole lot of fun here tonight. Right now you got Tony Gray shown in first for warm-up. Harvey Scott pulling second. Ralph Connor Jr. hanging on to third. Michael Palmer's in fourth. Mark Koshik's in fifth. Randy Perdue is in sixth. Len McNeese, seventh fastest. John Estes, eighth fastest. Dean Viney's ninth. Chuck Shaw Jr. right here now in warm-up. We're looking at the 72 of John Estes going around. John drove a long way today to make it here to tonight's race. So hopefully John get a good finish here tonight. See the 84 Len McNeese sneaking into the picture right there. Seen Len have a lot of bad luck here throughout the season. We've seen Len involved in a lot of incidents, and you know, some of it out of his control. But hopefully finish out tonight's race pretty good. This was the first season GAC was in the Dirt Series, and these guys did a great job. 12 races, and seemed like after probably the first 2 or 3 races, they seemed to get a handle on the cars and really brought a lot of competition out here on the track. So hopefully we'll see a good race here tonight. Want want to say hi to everybody over at America's Pizza King in Lafayette, Indiana. Everybody talks about their food, about their atmosphere, great place to be. If you're ever up in the area, go on in, stop on in. I know Dean and them guys talk about them all the time, how good the food is, how nice the people are over there, great atmosphere. Appreciate you tuning in, and I hope you guys enjoyed it so far. These guys just getting a little bit more warm up in here, and then they'll be going to a driver's meeting and then qualify. Oh, a little bit of contact. They'll be going to a driver's meeting, qualify, and then we'll bring it to you. I don't know about you, but I'm excited for tonight's race. It's definitely going to be an exciting race. Oh, and Len McNeese up into the wall, and we were on board. Let's see. Driving along with Ralph Connor Jr. here in the number 1 Mighty Mouse Mobile. And as always, we always want to remember our good buddy Timothy Kelleher. Tony Gray gave a race to him in his honor. GAC did a race in his honor. Great guy. Member here at GAC obviously went home. And missed by everybody. He's a great guy. Good guy to hang out and talk with. Good guy to race with. So hopefully he's watching from above and see what's going to get done here. Gotta love that Mighty Mouse on there. 51 of Paul Cohen, the 56 of Chuck Shaw Jr. Where's Dean Viney? 71, Valvoline Dean Viney. And then the 33 right there of Mark Koshix. And the 101 of David Gainforth now getting ready to go out on the track, put a couple laps in before we get any further here. We should see the track change, especially if it goes to a long green flag run. You'll see the track kind of dry out. A lot of rubber will get built up, and the guys will be searching for that groove. A lot of guys will start down low. We've seen Tony Gray stick down to that bottom quite a bit. We heard him on a couple of interviews at the end, starting down on the bottom, but double questioning it, seeing if it's something that he really wanted to do. But it seemed to pay off for him because he is 35 points ahead of Dean Viney in second. And looks like pretty much if everything, even if Tony has a bad race, I believe points-wise he should technically have the championship. So we'll have to stay tuned and see. It looks like these guys are going to be called in for the drivers' meeting. So I think what we'll do is we'll go to our national anthem, and we'll come back hopefully with qualifies. So we'll be right back, everybody.
I grew up in Northern California. My parents were just really big race fans and took my sister and I to, sprint car races pretty much every Friday and Saturday night. So I did outlaw kart racing from 7 till I was 14. And then that's when I got into 360 and 410 wing sprint cars. There's just something about dirt racing that's just, you can't get anywhere else. I enjoy going back to race them whenever I can. I get to run, about 20 to 25 dirt races a year and try and, put on a show every time I'm there.
Battle for the lead. Kyle Larson to the inside of Shane Stewart. Slide job, no. Larson unable to complete the pass. He'll follow Shane Stewart down the back straightaway. Stewart makes the move to the inside of Craig Kinser. Kyle Larson goes around the outside out of turn 4. You've got a new race leader. Kyle Larson from ninth leads on lap number 23.
I'm probably just a little more relaxed, I guess, at the dirt track just because it's for fun. Where the NASCAR stuff, it's points racing and a lot bigger sponsors and stuff you have to please and all that. You're there for 3 days a week, so your approach is a little bit different there. Where sprint cars, you're there for 5 or 6 hours and moving on to the next racetrack. So I've been on iRacing, I think, since 2009 or 10. Yeah, I remember, starting out, as a rookie on there, in the legends and the late models and stuff like that. And that was fun to, have to try and get your licenses up and stuff. But it's amazing to me how, now that I get to race on a lot of the tracks that are on there, how to the T, similar because of the laser scanning and stuff like that. So all the bumps and all the visual aspects of it are very good. So when I first got to like K&N and then the Nationwide Series at the time, I would race iRacing all the time to learn as much as I could about the racetrack before I went to the actual racetrack to race. So to me, it's just for fun now, so I enjoy going on there. Actually, I don't enjoy going on there all the time because I don't win a lot, so it's frustrating to see myself struggle to run top 10 in an Xfinity race or something like that and get beat by Logan Seavey every time I run a sprint car. So the level of competition on iRacing is better than real life. You've got thousands of drivers on there that, a lot of them are probably better than the people you see on TV. They just haven't had the opportunities to make it, but can kick butt on there and you can spend all day long running thousands of laps a day, so you can get yourself, really good at it. So competition level is just unbelievable, really, on there. Everybody's been asking for dirt on there for forever. So when they announced it, I got really, really excited. And honestly, it's blown my expectations away. The cars, to me, drive really good when the track's hooked up. The visual part of the racetrack changing is amazing. How you can run some laps and see it start to get shiny, and then you feel it getting slick. Areas of the racetrack getting dirty, and then you get some cars run through there and it cleans off and gets grip back. It's nuts. The tear-off feature is really cool. Watching the wing move backwards and forwards. I run with the virtual reality headset too, so being able to look down and see everything, it looks extremely realistic. So yeah, it blew my expectations away. And it's only gonna get better, really.
All right, that was Kyle Larson telling you about his time and fun here on iRacing. We're in qualify right now with GAC. Hopefully it sounds pretty good. The sounds to me is a little bit low going out. I'm trying to work on it as we go. But looks like right now Tony Gray is your fastest out there for qualify. So far, we'll see if anybody has anything for him. Looks like Ralph Connor Jr. in second. Take a ride around with Len McNeeson at number 84. Right now he's showing in 8th. And he just jumped to second. Great lap for Len. And it looks like everybody has taken their laps. So it looks like Tony Gray may come out here on the pole tonight with a 14.357, I believe that is. Len McNeese with a 14.376. So we'll have to keep an eye on these guys here tonight. We're just waiting for qualified time to wind down. We'll go over the points again one more time while we're at it. The point standings as they come in. Right now, Tony Gray is your leader. Dean Viney's in second. Mark Koshik's in third in the standings. Michael Palmer's in fourth. Ralph Connor Jr. is in fifth. Chuck Shaw Jr. is in sixth. John Estes is in seventh. Randy Perdue in eighth. Gary Shank in ninth. Billy Rodenbarger in 10th. Len McNeese 11th. David Gainford 12th. Harvey Scott 13th. And Shane Gross is in 14th in the point standings as we come into the final race tonight. This is the championship race here at Eldora in GAC in the 360 Dirt Sprint Car Series. We have about a minute and a half left before they go to green. Got 75 degrees on the track. 102 degrees on the track, 75 degrees air temperature, 45% humidity. Like I said, these guys are going to be searching around for grip. We get any pretty good long green flag runs. Track is going to change. A lot of rubber is going to go down, going to dry up, get a little bit dusty. And these cars and these drivers are going to be looking all over for that groove and keep that speed up. We'll see if anybody has anything for Tony tonight. Looks like Tony Gray is going to start on the pole. Len McNeese is going to start second here. So we'll see if Len McNeese can redeem himself here and try and get a good run and stay out of trouble here tonight. We've seen Len get caught up in a bunch of stuff that just kind of ruined it for him. But we'll see tonight. We're getting ready now. These guys are gridding up. So we have Tony Gray, your pole setter tonight, going to start on the first position. Len McNeese going to start second. Ralph Connor Jr. will be starting third. Mark Koshik will be starting fourth. Harvey Scott will be starting fifth. Dean Viney will start sixth. Randy Perdue will start seventh. Michael Palmer is going to start eighth. Shane Gross will start ninth. Chuck Shaw Jr. is going to start 10th. John Estes will start 11th, and starting 12th will be David Gainforth, and rounding out the field in 13th will be Paul Cohen. We're just waiting now for the pace truck to take these guys around. Hopefully the next time GAC is in the dirt series, iRace will have the heats set up in here so we can do heat races and watch guys qualify their way through rounds to the final. I know they're working on it. They're talking about having it done here for 2017. So that'd be really good to have. That's something I know a lot of us are looking forward to because you got to run dirt with heats. You can do it manually, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot better if you can set them up in the servers. All right. Pace truck is leading these guys out to the track. See, the track is all conditioned and ready to go. We'll keep an eye on the changes on the track as the race goes on. And obviously, as the laps go down, the track dries up, the rubber lays down. We will see a lot of changes going on here. Lights are out there side by side. Tony Gray on the inside, Len McNeese on the outside. Looking for Tony Gray to possibly get a 3-time back-to-back championship here at GAC and make history. They've had a 2-time back-to-back champion. I believe that was Dean Viney in 2012 back in the truck series. So we'll see if Tony Gray can do it. He's got the super late models, the trucks, and now maybe the 360 sprints in the dirt. All right, Pace truck goes in. We're getting ready to start this thing. And the green flag is out in the championship race here tonight. So Tony Gray out to a good start. Back here, Mark Koshik's into 33. Makes a little bit of contact with the 5 of Randy Perdue. Randy Perdue does save it. Let's go back with Randy. Yeah, Randy does hang on to it and keep it going. Randy Perdue lost a couple of spots, now sitting back in 8th. Chuck Shaw Jr. going to take a look on the inside, almost make a little bit of contact. We see Len McNeese, Harvey Scott. Len McNeese going for the lead here. And Len McNeese does take the lead from Tony Gray. That's the first time we've seen that here. So Len McNeese up front. Tony Gray back to second. And then right behind Tony Gray, Harvey Scott in at number 15. Going to take a look on the inside. And Harvey Scott's going to take that position from Tony Gray. Tony Gray moves back to 3rd. Tony Gray must not be feeling comfortable in the car or something here tonight, because it's not like Tony to not be up there in the front. And Dean Viney now will move up into 4th. Michael Palmer into 5th on the inside. The 31, they make contact. And they keep it green so far. The yellow does come out. Let's go back and see what happened there. Got to be fast here because these laps go by quick. See if we can see what happened with the 31 makes contact with the 71. Looks like the 41 gets into him. Let me back that up one more time. And 41 makes contact with the 31. Oh, and then gets hit by the 5. All right. Well, luckily they do have a faster pair. So let's take a look now. Race leader, it's saying Harvey Scott, but the race leader is Len McNeese, I believe, still. Got 10 laps completed. 1 lead change so far, and we're into caution number 1. So Len McNeese now going to bring him to the green. Harvey Scott at number 15 going to be on the outside, followed by Mark Koshik and Dean Viney up there in 4th. And this is the final race, race 12 of 12. And we're back green. Len McNeese with a good start. Guys are all 3 wide back there. Tony Gray coming in hard on the bottom, moving himself up to third. Going to fight with the 15 to try to take that position and get back up to the front. Len McNeese doing a good job holding on to that lead, getting some laps led here. Tony Gray moves into second. Tony Gray back down to the bottom. That's where we usually see him at. He's going to go challenging Len McNeese for the lead. And Len McNeese doing a really good job holding on to that lead. Tony Gray very competitive here. So Len McNeese has a great car here tonight. See if Len McNeese can hang on and pull off the win. Oh, we see, who was that? I believe that was the 15 of Harvey Scott. Yeah, we see him spinning around on the track there, trying to get that car back uprighted. Let's go back and take a look real quick what happened. Watching the 15 right now of Harvey Scott. We've seen something happen to him. Oh, he made contact with the 71 and then makes contact again with the 33 and a violent hit to the inside wall. Gets that car on 2 wheels and is trying desperately to get that thing turned back over without having a tow. So Len McNeese still out front. Len McNeese right now leads 14 laps. Started second, gets up to that top spot. Tony Gray right behind him in second, followed by Dean Viney, Michael Palmer, Mark Koshix, Chuck Shaw Jr., Shane Gross, John Estes, Paul Cohen, and David Gainforth rounding out your top 10. And we're getting ready to go back green again here. Pace truck lights are out. They're lined up 2 by 2. Len McNeese on the inside. Tony Gray on the outside. Followed by Michael Palmer and Dean Viney in row 2. Pace truck is in. Green flag is out. We're back green one more time here tonight. Once again, Len McNeese with a really good start. Tony Gray a little bit high in the groove, trying to track him down. Dean Viney now up to third. Side by side, Mark Koshix and the 31 of Michael Palmer fighting out for 4th and 5th. And they are followed by Chuck Shaw Jr. and the 41 of Shane Gross. Back up front real quick, Tony Gray taking a look to the inside, and it looks like Tony Gray is going to take the lead back from Len McNeese. Dean Viney's going to move into second. Len McNeese up high. And Len McNeese right now shuffled back to 4th. Michael Palmer going to move into 3rd. Oh, Len McNeese up into the wall. And the yellow comes out. Len McNeese stuck. I believe he's got a little bit of damage on that car. He might have lost the wheel. Let's take a look at what happened with Len. You see him go up into the wall, gets it back up. Must have snapped an axle or something, because he's just sitting there spinning one wheel. Gonna end up probably having to tow it back to the pits. Man, unfortunate for Len. He's having a good run here too. Got to lead a bunch of laps. Looked really strong out there. Tony Gray now going to go back up to the front. Tony Gray's got 7 laps led. Tony Gray's going to be up in front. Second place is going to be Dean Viney. And then Michael Palmer, Mark Koshix, and Shane Gross, your top 5. And we're already going to lap 27 of 55. These dirt races go by too quick. Give a shout out to America's Pizza King over in Lafayette, Indiana. It looks like the lights are out. Gonna line up side by side. Tony Gray on the inside. Dean Viney now in second on the outside. See if Dean Viney has anything for him. Dean Viney is second in the point standing, so we'll see if he's got something for Tony here tonight. And we're back green. Looks like Dean Viney with a really good run on the outside. Going to be able to hang on to that spot. Tony Gray does have a little bit more of a drive off down there in that low lane. 31 Michael Palmer right now trying to challenge Dean Viney for second. Dean Viney does get it back. Almost a little bit of contact there. I believe that's the 41 of Shane Gross and 33 of Mark Koshicks. Let's jump on board with Dean Viney real quick. Dean Viney doing everything he can to get caught up to that 00 of Tony Gray. Jump back a little bit here to Chuck Shaw Jr. in sixth. See right in front of him, 41 of Shane Gross. Tony Gray out by about maybe 0.5. So Tony Gray leading some laps, looking for a win and a championship here. Back to Michael Palmer, starting to close in a little bit on the 71 of Dean Viney. Back a little bit further, you got Shane Gross on the low line. 33 Mark Koshicks up high, and then says the 56 of Chuck Shaw Jr. Yeah, Harvey Scott is one lap down. Okay. Shane Gross started ninth, got himself up to fourth. We have a slow car down low, looking to try to get into pits. The yellow does come out. I believe that was Paul Cohen, and I believe the yellow came out just because he was stopped on the track. We'll just go back and verify that. Trying to get into the pits and wasn't able to. Actually had to back up on the track, so yellow does come out. So ELDORA Speedway, this is the championship race, race number 12. Let's take a look at our summary. It says that, I don't know why it says the leader is Dean Viney, but the leader is Tony Gray. There we go. 40 laps completed. We got 4 lead changes. Caution number 4, Tony Gray out front. Tony Gray's got 21 laps led. Looks like Tony Gray is going to take that championship home. quick look at the top 10. You got Tony Gray, Dean Viney, Michael Palmer, Shane Gross, Mark Koshix, Chuck Shaw Jr., John Estes, David Gainforth, Randy Perdue, Paul Cohen, and we're getting ready to go back green here. This could be the final start of the final championship race here at GAC. See Tony Gray on the inside, Dean Viney on the outside. We saw Dean almost have something for him on that last restart. We'll see if Dean's got something for him now. And we are back green. It looked like Dean Viney with a really good start out there on the outside. Tony Gray able to kind of pull away down on that low line. That 4 wide further back. 72, John Estes now up to 7. Len McNeese right behind him. 4 laps down. It looks like maybe 31 of Michael Palmer to 41 of Shane Gross with a little bit of contact. Fighting for 3rd and 4th. Dean Viney right now holding on to 2nd. Chuck Shaw Jr. now pulling up into that 5th spot. Mark Koshix in 6th and at number 33. Tony Gray, though, able to stay out front. So 101 of David Gainforth right now sitting in 8th. Randy Perdue in at number 5. We saw him get a little bit of trouble earlier. Moves back to 9th. And 56, and Chuck Shaw Jr. was stuck up in the wall there for a minute. He's going to lose a couple spots and move back to 8th. So Dean Viney not too far off of Tony Gray. And then right behind him, the 41 of Shane Gross. And that Old Schools Motorsports going to try and put some pressure on Dean. It looks like we're going to be coming to 5 laps to go here. And Tony Gray out front. Tony Gray's got 30 coming to 31 laps led. Started on the pole looking for that triple championship. He's got Dean Viney by about 0.7 tenths. So had a great run going here. Let's go up front with Tony Gray as we come to 2 to go this time by. Back to Dean Viney sitting in 2nd, and Tony Gray is your points leader coming in. Dean Viney is in 2nd, and they're going to finish here. Looks like 1st and 2nd, final lap. And it looks like Tony Gray's going to come out and take the checkered flag. Tony Gray, your winner here tonight. To change something here. So we see Tony Gray in that 00. He comes out your winner here and your champion, triple champion, history in the making here at GAC. And you see he's got that number 4 on there for Timothy Kelleher. And what a run here tonight for Tony Gray. Didn't look too promising there in the beginning. He kind of fell back a little bit. I don't know what happened, but he managed to come back around and pick it back up. So we've had 55 laps, 6 lead changes, 4 cautions. This is race number 12 of 12, the championship race. First time GAC on the dirt. What a run here tonight. So we have Tony Gray, Dean Viney, and Shane Gross, first, second, and third. We will see if we can get a word in with these guys. We'll give them a minute to cool down, and we'll try to talk to some of these guys. Hey, Shane Gross, this is Paul up in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you.
All right, man. Give us a little bit of a breakdown how the race was for you tonight, man. Looked a little rough out there, but you managed to pick it up and take it home third.
Yeah, it was a good race. Car felt good. I just can't get the hang of this dirt. Car was, I mean, I don't know how it was handling, but because I'm not real good at this dirt thing, but started about ninth and I drove my way up to third. I mean, I couldn't ask for nothing better.
Yeah, it's definitely a great way to finish off the season here in the Dirt Series. It looked like it was a pretty good race out there. I mean, there was a lot of competition. Did the track change much for you?
Yeah, the start of the race, the bottom had a lot of grip. You could get around down there better. And as the race went on, the groove moved up the more as the race went along. So you kind of had to adjust your driving style with the way the track was moving.
Now, let me ask you, do you run much of the dirt, or is this kind of like your first time running in the Dirt Series for, for like any type of a lengthy season?
This is the first time I've done it. I like it. I like it a lot. I just need a little more practice at it, but I do like it.
Yeah, we said on a couple of broadcasts before. I like it too, man. It's just a really hard thing to get used to, especially being an asphalt guy trying to come to dirt. It's a whole different process and whole different way to drive the car. But I tell you what, you guys did a great job, man, for the first season on the dirt. After a couple of races, a lot of you guys just started picking it up and moving it forward. I know there was a couple of times you were caught in some incidents that were really out of your control and kind of ruined your race here and there. But, man, to finish out the season tonight, move all the way up to third and finish third, definitely has to feel good.
Yeah, it's the best finish I've had this season, so I'm happy with it.
Oh, congratulations, bro, on taking home third here tonight. And before we let you get out of here and go celebrate, anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I want to say congratulations to Tony on his third championship in a row. Give a shout out to Old School Motorsports. They brought me on this season. It's been a lot of fun racing with these guys. Hopefully everybody's watching up at Pizza King tonight and hope they enjoyed the race. And here at GAC, thank everybody here. And I want to give one shout out to my daughter who is still in the hospital tonight. She's doing a lot better than she was, but I was racing for Charlie tonight.
Awesome, man. Yeah, we constantly putting up prayers for you, man, and prayers for your daughter. And we just keep waiting for you to tell us when she's back home, man. And, we're all here for you. I know everybody at GAC's here for you too, man. So just be strong and, keep the faith, brother, and let us know when she finally does get back home.
I sure will. I appreciate everything. Thoughts and prayers.
Yes, sir. All right, man. Go celebrate, and we'll get caught up with you again.
All right. Thank you.
All righty. All right. Let's see. Let's get a word in with Mr. Dean Viney over here. Hey, Dean Viney, this is Paul up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Paul.
Well, buddy, you came in second in the points, and you finished second in the race. I tell you what, man, you were pretty strong all season. How'd it feel for you out there tonight, first off?
Well, I don't even think you could write this as a script, really. Tony won the championship and well-deserved, and to finish second and him running first, and kind of how it had been all season in the points. And, but no, the car felt good tonight. I think the guys in the shop, they had it hooked up. It's just Tony's got a tough car, and that Old School Motorsports, they fix him up with a pretty good automobile every week, and just tough competition all season long. And like I say, Tony, he's the only one that's ever done it. He's broke the record, people. It's not easy to get a Triple Crown, and he's won all three events this season. In the super late models, trucks, and now the dirt, and it's well deserved by him. But yeah, the car tonight, the Valvoline 71 ran good tonight. We did best we could do.
I'll tell you what, man. Like you say, you really couldn't have wrote it any more different than the way it was. Almost like it was scripted. We seen you guys, this your first season in the dirt series, and after probably a couple races, we started seeing a lot of guys really pick up the driving style on these cars, and put a lot of competition out there. Not to let Tony just run away. And you were one of the drivers too. You moved up into that second place spot, and for a little while there, you were starting to track him down and close in on them points. We know he's really strong out there. But man, I'll tell you what, you did a really good job closing it up and hanging on to that second place spot. And from what we've seen, it looked like we had some real good races all throughout the season. And it's got to feel good knowing, you guys came out here first time in the dirt. They're not an easy car to run. It's definitely not an easy race to run. And you guys made it look good.
Well, thanks there, Paul. We tried anyway, and yeah, I agree. Kudos to all the guys this season. Like you say, our first year actually getting our feet wet on this dirt, and some of us had some experience on dirt, and some of us ain't, and like you say, some of the guys that didn't this season, you could see as the season went on here, they picked their game up, and it just, that was kind of neat on this side to see, and like I say again, congratulations to Tony. Hell, well deserved, and it's just a good sport in the pits. We always give him a rough time in the pits and that, and he's a good sport about it. And you just can't ask anything better than Triple Crown champion to have a good sport about it, and he has. He's been a good sport all season long about it, and couldn't ask for anything better.
Yeah, it definitely was a good season, and we were glad to be part of it. It was a lot of fun watching you guys kind of grow and figure this thing out, and really put on some real good races out here, man. A lot of long green flag runs, a lot of hard driving, a lot of different winners, and a lot of different leaders, man. So, it wasn't just one person driving it away. We got to see history in the making here, third time champion back to back. And if I'm right, I believe you are one of the other ones that were a back-to-back champion back around 2012 in the Truck Series. Am I correct?
Yeah, correct. We ran in 2012. We had ran a season of the trucks in 2012, and then, of course, as we do and get voted what we're going to run the next season, the trucks were back in and came back and won that, and that was in 2012 was the only back-to-back championships here at GAC, and Tony broke the record for sure, and well deserved. Triple Crown.
Man, that's awesome, bro. Ain't no slacking going on there, I'll tell you that. Well, listen, we're going to keep you here, but before we finish talking to you, anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I'd like to give a shout out to you guys up there in the booth, Paul. I know Joe's not there with you here the last couple of weeks and stuff, but for the job both of you have done all season, the job, SR Broadcasting's done all season with us, and hopefully maybe everything works out. We can get you back on board and have you back next season. Of course, we don't know what we're running right at the moment, but whatever it is, I'm sure, maybe I'm partial, but I got confidence in the guys and a good bunch over here, and whatever we put together, I'm sure we can try to put on another good show, and hopefully we can have you back next season.
Yeah, definitely be good. And I do miss having Joe up here with me. Joe, unfortunately, his work schedule has changed, so he's kind of busy. Obviously, in all our lives, we know our work has to come before our racing. So, I do miss him out here. But I'll tell you what, man, you guys did a great job. You managed to hold on to second in the standings, and you held on to second in the race here tonight. And at one point, you looked pretty good on the outside. Looked like you were going to overtake Tony, and he just kind of shot that inside down there, man. I don't know how he does it, but he's really good down on that inside line, even when the track changes,
Oh, yeah, Tim, I was down there, early in the race. We were kind of nose to tail there, and, I was running that line with him, and it just seemed like he could just get a better bite down there. And then I went back up to that high side, and there, about the last 10 laps of the race, my car just felt better up there. It felt like I had a little more speed, but, he just had it down. You know, I just couldn't run him down. I'd get close a couple times, but just didn't have enough power, I guess, to catch him. You know, and that. And if I could, Paul, just like give a little shout out to the guys over at the Pizza King is probably watching tonight. You know, just say a little hello there, and to the guys there at the crossing, and hopefully enjoyed the show. I'm sure they have. And again, you know, SR Broadcasting, appreciate everything you do, Paul.
Awesome, dude. Well, we appreciate being a part of it. Stay tight. We're going to go grab Tony Gray, pull him on down here, and we'll have some words with Tony.
Oh, sure.
All right, Mr. Tony Gray, do you got a copy?
Yes, sir. Got you, Paul.
Well, buddy, you did it. You pulled it off. You got history in the making here at GAC. You're the first 3-time back-to-back champion, man. Super late models, the trucks, and now the 360 dirt cars. First, before we talk about the race, how's that feel?
Oh, man, absolutely awesome. Like I say, was looking forward to it when the season started, trying to come in here and battle for a championship to get this three-peat, and was able to pull it off, man. So I'm definitely excited to be the first one over here at GC to ever do a 3-time back-to-back like that. Very, very excited, very honored to be doing it.
Yeah, I tell you what, man, I'm glad we got to see it, because it's not every day you get to see something like that. I got to just ask you something. In the beginning of the race, what was going on? We seen Len McNeese take over the spot, and you kind of fell back to second, and you fell back a few spots and kind of mired back there a little bit. We even said not really like you. What was going on?
Well, I mean, I was actually doing it for, try to save fuel. I was watching the guys in practice, and everybody seemed to be fairly clean, and I really felt like the race was going to go, if not green the whole way, I felt like it was going to go pretty much green. And I knew that we weren't going to have enough fuel, running wide open every lap. So I was going to try to just lay back there a little while and kind of see what happened. And fortunately, we had some cautions to come out to save us on the fuel, and kind of took that out of the play. So once I felt comfortable with that, it was pretty much hammered down then.
All right, yeah, we were wondering. I wasn't sure. I said, maybe the car wasn't feeling right, or maybe like they got to you psychologically, because I know a couple guys were talking about, trying to call the FBI and stuff on you, keep you from the track tonight.
Yeah, no, I was like I said, that the fuel all season long has been something that I've kept my eye on, and we definitely had some cautions and has kind of took that out of play. But tonight, I was just feeling like, the race was going to go green. And I kept, in first couple laps, I was trying to get a run to see what my fuel, was going to be like. And I was definitely going to be short if it had to go green and stay out front like that. So I was just trying to conserve all I could and see what happened.
Well, it definitely put on a good show. We do like seeing that number 4 for Timothy Kelleher on the car. We mentioned earlier in the broadcast, we always want to remember Timothy, man, was a great guy. So good to see you get the championship, and you did dedicate one of the races to him. Great run here tonight, man. You definitely look strong. You got 8 wins here out of the 12 weeks that we ran the 360 Sprint Series, man. So you were definitely the guy to beat. Dean Viney did hang on a second, try closing in on you, man, and like I said to Dean before, for the first time being out here as a league on the dirt tracks and the 360 car, man, you guys put on a great show, and it was good to see some of these guys step it up and really give you some competition here throughout the season.
Yeah, and like I say, and going back to Tim, whenever we lost him here about midway through the season, Tim was a good friend. I met him here on the sim racing, and I thought a lot of Tim. I mean, we didn't do a whole lot as far as anything outside of that, but every Monday night you could count on him being there and racing with him, and if you ever had a problem, he'd help you out with it or just whatever. So really miss him, and when that happened, I just felt like it was, I needed to do something. It's not that much, but I wanted to put his name on the car and run his number. Everywhere you went, you seen that number 4. So I want to do that just in honor of him and his family and all. And like I say, so to get a win, early in the season and now to pull off the championship and to dedicate this race and dedicate this championship to him, that means more to me than anything. I mean, we're out here to have a good time, and all these guys, I love talking with them every Monday night, getting in here and just cutting the bull, and they give me a hard time sometimes, but love these guys a lot, man. I really enjoy racing over here at GAC, and like I say, to do it the way we did it, it means a lot to me.
Yeah. One thing I got to say, and I'm sure you guys will agree, throughout this whole iRacing thing, it's a real strong community. Even in the real life community of racing, guys stick together. But here, even in the sim racing community, man, a lot of us, we all know each other, and we haven't really met face to face, but we race week by week, and we talk, and we hang out, and years go by, and we really form good friendships, you know what I mean, and good strong bonds, and it's good to see that come across with everybody, man. And that's just something that I like to put across to people that watch that don't iRace, so they can understand, you know what I mean. It's not just a game; it's a whole community of people that are out here and got each other's backs and everything, man. And that's good to see.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've gained so many friends through sim racing that I mean I can't even count. Like I said, I've only been doing this for a little over about 2 years now, I guess. So, but the friends that I've gained on this, and like I said, I've only know a couple of them, as far as live here in my hometown and see each other quite a bit. But for the majority of them, the guys I've never met. But I feel like, if something was to come up and I ever needed anything, I think these guys would be right there in the same way in return. If any of these guys need anything, I'd do all I could to help them out. And it's just, the bond that you build while you're over here doing this. So it's definitely more than a lot of people like to call it a game. It's definitely a lot more than that when you get into it.
Yeah. And let me ask you something to clarify to the people that listen that don't iRace. When you're out here, you're 150%. Am I right? I mean, you really put everything into it. Your emotions come out. You really got to drive these cars. You really got to concentrate. You sweat, you struggle, you suffer. Am I right?
Oh yeah, if you're not sweating, you're not iRacing. That's for daggone sure. But yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, I've been on here and have been just as mad as I was if I was in my real car on a Saturday night and something happened, And I mean, a lot of times my wife would come out, "Won't you calm down?" But yeah, we all take it serious, and for what it is, you really got to. I mean, everybody's putting 110% in it each and every week, and to come out here and try to win these championships. I mean, we're putting as much into this as we are in our real stuff. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of emotion that goes into it.
Well, dude, you're a three-time champion back-to-back here at GAC. And Dean, I know I didn't leave much room for you, but I'm going to hand the floor to you for a little bit. And you can get your congratulations in to Tony, and then we'll go wrap this thing up.
All right, 10-4. Thanks, Paul. Well, Tony, by golly, you got me, bud. But now, congratulations on behalf of the owner of GAC and all the guys in the league, and that on a job well done, Tony. And like I was telling Paul earlier, and probably people out there in the race land, it couldn't have went to a better person as far as I'm concerned. Just a champion on the track and a champion in the pits, and when we're all giving you heck, and you got a sense of humor and you take it all in. But congratulations on just a well of a job, Tony, and like you said, and a little shout out to, as everybody knows, we lost Tim Kelleher, earlier in the season there, and Timmy was a good old boy, and we all miss him. I know he's down there probably hooping and hollering right, or looking down on us now, and hooping and hollering, and saying, "By golly, you did it!" So congratulations, and hopefully, Timmy's gonna always be with us.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I appreciate it, Dean. Appreciate everything that you do. Like I say, man, you run an awesome league. The guys you got over here running, and all the work that goes behind the scenes. I've got my own league also, and so I know everything that goes behind it and everything y'all do to get the races up, schedule up, points up. I mean, there's a lot more to go into it than a lot of guys see. So I definitely appreciate everything that you do over there at GAC, and I just appreciate you giving us a place to come up here and run and to have fun and cut up and make friends. So appreciate everything that you've done here at GAC for sure.
Thank you, Tony, and like I say again, congratulations and well deserved. And like we were talking there earlier, Paul was even, you come out here, until you actually experience this, and the friendships, like you say, people just, it's more in the game. It's
Exactly.
not a game, it's a sim, and and when you get looking at the history on this, there's a lot of racers out there right now in the real world that run on this, and so it's, yeah, you put 110% when you come out here, and sometimes temper fly, and it is what it is. But yeah, again, congratulations to you, Tony and Paul, there at SR Broadcasting. Just a well of a job, and like I say, hopefully everything works out. We can have you back next season, back at it with SR Broadcasting, and hopefully we'll see what happens again.
All right, Mr. Three-Timer. Give you shout outs. Go celebrate, buddy, and we'll catch up with you. Who you want to give a shout out to, man?
Yep, got to give a shout out. Like I say, first off, again, I got to thank Dean, the owner over here at GAC, Lynn McNeese for the admin, all the admin stuff that he's done over here this year, the whole entire season. Just hats off to these guys for everything they do, putting these races up each and every week. I got to thank my teammates, especially over here at GAC, that runs with me with Old School Motorsports, Justin Rogers and Shane Gross. And my whole team over at Old Schools Motorsports been rooting me on all season long. Got to give a shout out to them. Also want to give a shout out to the guys and gals up at the Camel Crossing up in Indiana. They've come on and started watching us here in the last month or two, and been here and tell they've been giving Dean a hard fit up there. So maybe this here give him something else to rag on about. But I'd like to thank you, Paul, up there with SR Broadcasting, man. The great job that you've done all season long. Broadcasting races, all the overlays you've been putting up and the different things, and just making us look better than what we really are. So I appreciate everything you do too.
You guys put on a great show, man. I'll tell you what, I was telling Dean before you got down here, once you guys started getting a handle, a lot of these guys started getting a handle on it and putting it together. I mean, you guys made it look easy, made it look good, and they really ain't that easy to drive out there. But we've had some long green flag runs. We've had some real good races. We've seen a lot of shuffling, a lot of guys up front, not letting you just run away with it, man. And that definitely made for some exciting racing. And I was glad to be a part of it. And it was great to watch, man. And hopefully you guys, when you go back and watch them, you enjoy it as much as I do.
Most definitely. I get a kick out of going back every Tuesday, and I'll kick back and watch the races. And like I say, it's a lot of fun to go back and watch everybody else. And you're exactly right. You know, a lot of these guys have never done the dirt until this season started. So it was a struggle for them guys starting out. But, you know, hats off to them to not griping and complaining. Everybody jumped in here and raced, and they learned, and every single week they got better and better. And like I said, it was tough racing every race was. But, of course, you know, the half end of the season was a battle. No matter what it looked like down here, it was definitely a battle to go out there and run up front each and every week. So, like I say, it's definitely a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, now you can watch tomorrow and be reminded three time.
That's right.
All right, guys, thanks for stopping in and talking, and we'll catch up with you after this. I'm going to wrap things up.
Thanks, Paul.
All right, there you have it. Was the three-time champion, man. History in the making here. Tony Gray comes out of here with the championship. I'm not really sure of the points breakdown, but I know he was 35 points coming in. Dean Viney did finish second, so that may not have changed much. That might have even shrunk a little, but Tony Gray does it. He does put it up for Timothy Kelleher, who used to be the driver of the number 4. Hopefully Timothy's happy and can take a look down. Congratulations to Tony. These guys did a great job here all season long. Great race here tonight, too. Let's take a quick look. There was 55 laps. There was 6 lead changes and 4 cautions and some hard racing all the way through. We were at ELDORA Speedway for the championship race, and Tony Gray does come away with the championship for 2017 and 3 times in a row. We appreciate everybody tuning in. We hope you enjoyed it. Hope the sounds were pretty good here tonight. Hopefully I can get this thing back tuned up. And we'll see where GAC goes next time in the next season that they do. And we want to give one more shout out to America's Pizza King. They call it the Camel Crossings over there in Lafayette, Indiana. We appreciate you guys tuning in. We hope you enjoyed it. And when you see Dean next time, give him a little bit. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. And we'll see you on the next time around somewhere.